For years now there's been reports of humanoid creatures in our ocean. Whether you believe in these stories or not, there's no shortage of tales. Various individuals have encountered these creatures all across the world, leading some to believe that there could be aquatic humanoids living beneath the depths. Unlike the cute animated portrayals of the mythical creature, the mermaids of Zimbabwe have been a recurring problem for those living nearby large waterways in the country, as the humanoid creatures have reportedly been at the centre of a variety of random attacks, terrifying vandalisms and delay in construction efforts. Back in 2012, while working on the Gokwe and Osborne dams, the Zimbabwe construction company claimed that nearly every employee had left the construction site in fear for their lives, after having been attacked by a strange humanoid river monster known as the Mamba Muntu. It was believed that the Mamba Muntu used the rivers as natural outlets to the ocean, and that they had become terribly angered by the construction efforts. Debates were made on whether or not construction efforts should continue, before a full report on the environmental impact was made. It turned out that under pressure of contracts and health standards, construction continued regardless. This forced the local council to hire entirely new workers from out of the country to work on the dam, as the locals refused to continue working on the construction of the project due to their superstitions. Oddly enough, after several weeks, even the foreign workers resigned after claiming to have been attacked by humanoid sea creatures, and regarded the entire river as being cursed. In an effort to appease these strange creatures, the council was forced to perform cleansing rituals and make offerings to the creatures, before construction began again with no further issues. Although most do not make the connection, Zambia, the closest country to Zimbabwe, built the Kabia Dam in the same waterways within their borders. The project was determined to be a necessity in the region, as the water from the river would not only be able to power all of the electrical requirements for that region, but it would also prove to be a major work program that would allow a number of locals to generate income, while working on the project to be used to help spur the local economy of the region. Unfortunately, many of the religious figures, already suffering under the oppressive hand of the government, felt that the construction of the dam was a violation of the principles of their god, known as Nima Nyami. Nyami was more specifically the god of the river Zambezi, and was believed to reside within the river. The religious figures argued that if the dam was built, then Nyami would curse them for messing with the natural ecosystem, and bring on a terrible tragedy, urging the locals to defy the government and refuse construction. Despite this sentiment from the religious leaders, many locals would still go on to work on the construction of the dam, assisting the government's tactic to force the native people to move from their homes and live elsewhere. Almost as if directly predicted by the religious leaders, shortly after the people were moved, a devastating flood tore through the region, and due to the half-construction of the dam blocking the only direction for water to flow, it led to the entire dam becoming destroyed, killing every single worker that was working on the construction of the project. Oddly enough, however, not a single body had been recovered. Given the fact that the majority of those who died were locals, this led to many of the relatives begging the religious leaders to help lift the curse, and allow the dam to be constructed without any further problems. The religious leaders then gave instructions to the people that the only way for the curse to be lifted is that they must sacrifice a calf and offer it to the river. For some inexplicable reason, after the ceremony was completed, the bodies of the workers appeared where the calf was placed in the river, allowing their souls to be finally put to rest. It doesn't end here though. Various locals would come forward and tell stories about how they encountered the humanoids living in the waters. These humanoid creatures were believed to be hostile towards humans, causing the locals to fear going near the water's edge. One local told the story of how his brother went on the river to catch some fish. He would normally spend between 5 and 8 hours on the river, but when he didn't return, his brother became worried. He was noted as being a great swimmer and someone that knew the river well, so for him not to return, this was out of the ordinary. The brother then made his way down to the river to try and find him, but as he approached the bank he was met with a gruesome scene. In the middle of the lake was a lone boat. The brother recognized this as his brother's boat, and immediately began to worry. He managed to make his way over to it in a makeshift boat, and quickly noticed that something had gone badly wrong. There were markings on the boat that looked to match that of a large hand. Shortly after this he heard commotion in the water, around 25 meters from where he was. It was his brother. However, he wasn't alive. One of these river humanoids had brought him to the surface, almost as if to mock the brother. After this the creature went into the murky water, pulling his brother beneath the depths. He noted that the creature had pale skin, shiny scales on its body and an ugly humanoid face. Since this day he hasn't ventured down to the river, fearing if he gets too close he may end up the same way as his brother did. Some have suggested that what these people are seeing is that of local wildlife. Various individuals have captured large river fish that have been noted as being able to cause a lot of damage to humans, and some of them can reach over 6 feet in length. But cryptid researchers have said there's no animal in this region that matches the description of a human. Researchers have said that our oceans are the single most unexplored regions on the planet. Every year scientists discover between 600 and 1,500 new species. But as of today they state that not a single piece of evidence has been found that could prove that underwater humanoids exist. Another interesting sighting is that of the 1890 Newark Bay sighting. Back in 1472, after ceaseless battles spanning over several hundred years against the Norse civilization, the Scottish people went on to claim the lasting ownership of the region of Orkney, a group of 70 stunningly beautiful islands that hold a rich history of human habitation for more than 8,000 years. However, since the dawn of this strange ownership, Scotland has seen its own fair share of odd detailed reports, describing strange aquatic humanoid creatures nearing the shores of Orkney Islands. Although there are too many stories to tell surrounding the mermaids of Orkney over several centuries, the most well-known sighting of the Orkney mermaids is that of the 1890 Newark Bay sighting, and this took place off the shore of the easternmost peninsula of the mainland island known as Dearness. Later referred to as the Dearness Mermaid, the aquatic humanoid creature would be at the centre of several hundred sightings, made by both visitors and locals to the island. However, unlike common mermaid tales, the Dearness Mermaid was described as being a terrifying creature to look at. Reports claim that the creature was estimated to be more than 7 feet in length. This was from the top of its head to its tail, and had a long black head with a torso that was pale white in colour, similar to that of a body bloated at sea. Its most terrifying features were its elongated arms, with reports claiming to have seen the creature crawling up on the rocks, or moving in long dramatic waving motions as if begging people to enter the water alongside the creature. Sightings of the Dearness Mermaid would continue for the following years, with claims that the creature would return in the summer months and disappear during the winter months. It was due to these repetitive sightings that the popularity of the creature grew, with visitors taking trips to the mainland Orkney Island in the hopes of spotting the mermaid for themselves. Although random mermaid sightings around the shores of the Orkney Islands have persisted even up until the modern day, the last known continued sighting of the Dearness Mermaid is believed to be made back in 1893, with the creature fitting the exact description of the Dearness Mermaid never to be reported or seen again. As mentioned, researchers have said that vast amounts of our oceans are still unexplored, and amateur researchers have said there could be a chance that these elusive creatures are in fact genuine, and are still living in various remote parts of our planet. So what do you make of these mermaid stories, and what do you think the construction workers in Zimbabwe were encountering? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.